Hi, everyone. This is Lisa Garrow, and I am here with Michelle Clayton. I am so glad that you're here to chat about our workshop coming up. That's on October 18th. We're at Loft 112, and we're going to be talking about branding your event. So really excited to have you here, Michelle. Can you tell us a little bit about what is branding and what does it mean to brand your event or to brand your business?
Yeah, branding is one of those words people, I think you either really know what it is or you're really not quite sure what it is. And I like to tell people, in short, the very briefest definition is your brand is your reputation. So it's what people are thinking about you and your business. Maybe you're not even around when they have these impressions, but that's, in a nutshell, that's what it is. So it's not just your logo and your colors and your fonts and all that pretty visual stuff. At the core, it's your reputation. It's what people think about you and your business.
Well, and it's amazing when you think about an event, and so much of it is about how you're putting yourself out there, how you're setting yourself up to actually be received, your message to be received by your donors or by your customers or your group. So it is so critical that it's part of the branding as well, right? Like, how are you showing up visually? And we're going to talk about a little bit about that. I've been curious, like, what are some of those, let's say what is one key question or problem that people will come to you with that would be a barrier for them to actually get their branding either rebranded, their company maybe looking at new branding, or even branding their event, which I think sometimes for some people is even a farther stretch. So what are some of those things, or one of those things that you find that you're hearing a lot of that would be preventing someone from doing that branding work?
I think it's a great question. One of the things I hear a lot is people struggle with the trends. Like there's so much information out there, and people cruise on Pinterest or Facebook or whatever, and they're looking at everybody else. They're looking at other possibly competitors or even just stuff that's out there visually, and they see these trends, and we're really aware of what they are, and they feel like in order to stay relevant that they need to be adopting those same trends for their business or their event or their organization. And instead of kind of going back to themselves and that reputation that I mentioned, they're distracted by everything else. And so when you're following trends, you're changing so much that there's no consistency in your own brand, and it makes people really confused. And there's no recognition, or they don't recognize your event or your organization because you've switched into something else because you thought, oh, well, this font or this color scheme or whatever, that's the trend now, that's what I need to be doing. And it's really not what you need to be doing at all.
Well, and it's interesting too, because I always say to people that your event isn't a one-time thing. It's not just a one-day event or one weekend event. You're actually building up to that event and leading from that event in order to create relationships, and relationships that are long-lasting, and they're going to sustain over time from either event to event, or if you've got a campaign happening, or if you're opening a new store, or if you're a nonprofit and you're looking at multiple different donor type of events throughout the year, the more that it's aligned with who you are as an organization or a company, you're actually helping them to be consistently connecting with you through that branding. So like you say, it's not necessarily a hiccup on the way. It's something where you're able to connect well with that organization all the way through all of those activities that you're putting together. So it's a very, very interesting, and I'm not surprised by that, but it is telling that if you're feeling like that, you're actually not alone, because everyone is feeling a little bit,
not at all,
in our digital age, hey?
Yeah, not at all. Yes.
That's awesome. So what are we going to get from you? You're going to be presenting for about 40 minutes. So I'm giving you the stage for a big chunk of the night. Great conversation to happen. But can you tell us a little bit about what people will be getting on site on Thursday, and why they really shouldn't be missing that workshop through Candy on Thursday?
Yes. So yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about what branding is, so that we're really clear on that. There's also there's 3 key indicators of what I would call a successful brand. Like everybody has a different definition of what is success, right? But if your brand that you're bringing through your business, through your events, through your marketing, through all these different parts, if it's successful, it meets these 3 criteria.
Right.
So we want to kind of start a foundation there so that we know what we're aiming for. And then after that, we'll talk a little bit about 3 specific things that they need to be doing to build that successful brand. Okay. So there's some really simple things that they can do. And some people may have already started there, but I think a lot of people don't. They just don't think about those things. And so we're going to talk about those 3 things. And if we can even dialogue with some people, and we'll try to give some help on maybe things that they're working on at the time or an event that's coming up, and try to give some real specific examples of that. And then give them, walk them through a bit of how they can carry that brand through those events. So what that looks like, and really show them that it makes things so much easier. I think a lot of people think that branding is hard. And once you have that foundation, it really does make things easier. Makes it easier for your audience because they start to recognize you, and it makes it way easier for you to execute, from A to B to C to D, of getting that consistent message out there. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we're going to talk about.
That's awesome. And one thing that you just said, which is really interesting to me, it's not just even about your public facing graphics and messaging for the brand leading up to the event, but within the event, all of those activities that you've planned can actually have elements of that branding built into your event plan for the day or for the week or whatever your event is. And that's really cool. Again, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. You just start to adopt some of those brand elements into your event throughout. And that might be in signage, or it might be on your PowerPoints, or maybe you've got a video that's running, or table cards. I don't know if you have other examples, Michelle, of what people might add that branding to in the event itself.
Well, and their branding is even, people don't always think about this, but it's also in their copy, like their writing. So the message that they're putting out there, there needs to be consistency in that. And so, you can't talk like one person, with one audience and then a different voice with someone else. So it even comes through in those kinds of elements as well. I think my work is mostly with the visual component of it, but it's not just the visual, it's the other things as well.
Yeah, that's great. So whether or not you've got a specific event coming up that you're going to be promoting, or if you just want to get your head wrapped around this as somebody that you're involved with planning events over the course of the next year, this is great information for you. So thanks so much, Michelle, for being with us today. And I'm excited to see you. This was a quick hello today, but we'll have a whole couple of hours with you on Thursday. For any of you out there that want to sign up, the fee is only $24 for you to get in. You get snacks, drinks, you get all of your materials for the night, and all of this amazing information from Michelle, and to meet up with the Candy community. Always a dynamic group of people that get in the room and have good conversations. So you can sign up at candyconsulting.ca/workshops, and we will see you on Thursday. Thanks so much, Michelle. We'll see you on
Thank you, Lisa.
All right.
You will.
Take care.